Welcome into the 14A Sports Radio Show.
And it's back.
He is back. He is certainly
I was back.
I did my best Vern last week. I don't know how it
Yeah,
came
how'd
out.
that come out?
I don't know.
I didn't get a chance to really watch it.
It was like a 5, 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tough to imitate, replace. No doubt about it.
Hey, all right.
Nah, I mean, yeah, some of it's because I'm so stupid, but you know, it's tough to.
That's all right.
imitate.
Walsh made
Let's
up a
go.
new word last week called trifling. That's
Trifling?
That's
Yeah, I
a thing in
thought
Turkey.
that-
That
yeah, I
makes
thought
you
you to
was
sleep,
a-
right?
You know that's all bullshit, by the way.
No, I think it's real.
No, it's an urban myth. I read it on the internet. It must be true.
Mythbusters.
Yeah. All right. Well, so it's 14A Sports Show is brought to you by the Big Apple Sports Pals with wall-to-wall TVs. You'll never miss a beat of the action. Go visit them or call them up for delivery. Get some of the town's greatest food delivered to your door. 201-858-1075. Give it up for the Big Apple. Always hosting a damn good time.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, coming up on the show tonight, we have no one, just us.
We don't need anyone.
Nah.
We know you're excited.
Don't love it too much. Don't love it too much. But yeah, Cole's on the DL once again, using up her, I guess,
Yeah, she's
seven.
using all the
seven.
She's
sick
definitely a
days?
union worker, man. She's using all the sick days.
Taking
Unbelievable.
tips from Oates, probably
Unlimited sick days.
out there in the blue
Yeah,
room.
let's not get into that.
JC
Well, how
Fire
about that?
Department.
Wait,
over
how
there.
come you guys have a better chance than me? This is ridiculous. You got executives and I.
Well,
we better get more.
You
We better.
You missed the permission slip signing last week. You
Yeah,
need to sign a
We
permission
were here
slip
last
to be
week.
in these seats.
We got the.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So you got grandfathered in?
Yeah, I kind of stole this from you.
Yeah,
You should
that's
probably
great.
get it for seniority.
Seniority? Yeah.
We could switch after the first.
Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's get
You
to
got
it.
your electric therapy, massage therapy going on.
I
You got your.
Did it move?
It's always moving.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
move right
I got
now.
electrically stim today at the chiropractor, which is absolutely fabulous. They put the hot blanket on you, put the electrical stim on. It's heaven on earth. It's
Happy
great.
ending?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
All right.
You know, I think the guys.
Yeah, he's got to be friends with Tim first before you get any of that stuff going. All right. So let's start up the 2-minute drill right now. So it's Kobe Ellsbury, big signing yesterday with the New York Yankees. It seems like the Yankees are going back to their old ways, trying to sign all the free agents.
Yankees do what they do best.
They have no other choice, though.
Well, here's what.
5 players.
First of all, Nips, go ahead. Give me what you think of the signing.
I think it's a solid signing. I mean, at the end of the day, from a fan's perspective, it's not your money out there on the table.
I
I mean,
agree.
it's a good player. He's going to give you solid reps. I mean, especially with that short right porch. He's going to hit probably about 25 to 30 home runs there, steal bases. I mean, good outfielder. I mean, I don't care if it's 25, 30 million a year, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
I agree, man. I don't see the downside. You know, fans call up and you get the fan reaction like, "Well, he's only worth 100 million, not 150." What's the difference? It doesn't matter to the fan.
That's what
There-
takes
there's
them
no-
away from the
There's no
Yankees.
difference. Here's
Or
what
the Red Sox.
when you're the Yankees. Your biggest advantage is your pocketbook, right? They have the most fiscal resources in probably all sports, but without a doubt, all of baseball. So you have to play to your strengths, right? They have nothing in the farm system. There's nothing coming down a pipe. They don't scout. They don't draft well, right? So what they have is big pocketbooks. So you got to throw that around. Throw your weight around.
A couple camels, a couple emus down on the farm. That's all they're working with.
Jacoby Ellsbury is defensively, he's an above average to elite center fielder who's a leadoff hitter that gets on base at a very high clip. Something exactly what the Yankees want, hoping to slide Jeter back to that 2-hole where he's been most effective throughout his career. You slide Gardner over to left, or Gardner. There's very few, center fielders in baseball that could pick it like Gardner. Now he becomes an interesting chip that you have. If you want to
flip
move
him
for
something
a
else.
pitcher or whatever, he's there. So
Because they still got Soriano
Gardner
there, right?
creates a chip. You got Ichiro. So Garner becomes, an asset that is a movable asset. There's really no downside. I don't think this excludes them from signing Cano.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, they said they wanted to get under 189, but they don't have to.
Right.
You
What
know,
happens
just
if they don't? Nothing.
They
They
pay
just keep
taxes.
spending.
We're gonna ignore the bell real quick because
Yeah, fuck that
what
bell.
kind of fallout is this gonna have with Boston? You think? I mean, this
Boston-
is the second time
No.
that it's happened where
Oh, with
one of
Johnny
their
Damon the
players
first time?
have just been overpaid completely.
I mean,
to go to New
the
York.
Yankees also had Euclid on their team this year. I mean,
No. that whole
loyalty.
switching.
If it was like a Jeter,
Why should there be
or like,
But it's the Red Sox and the Yankees.
That
there's only like
doesn't exist.
there's only a couple
It
guys.
doesn't exist.
It's like a Big Papi, a Jeter, a Mariano. Those guys are the only ones that anybody cares about. Other than that, everyone's like, whatever.
That
The Red Sox fans are probably
ship
saying good
sailed.
riddance. That's what they're probably saying for
Well, if
$150
you want
million.
to have that attitude about it.
No,
I'm
the
sure.
Red Sox were never even interested in signing Ellsbury. They weren't going to sign Ellsbury. They
Well,
have
for that money, yeah.
No, they have Jackie Bradley Jr. in center. They have his replacement already, or they could slide Victorino over to center. They were never paying him that money. They went that route, right, with the Carl Crawford, Adrian Gonzalez.
Where'd that get him?
That was never a part of their plan. It's not like the Yankees stole Ellsbury from Boston. He was never going back to Boston ever. And the whole thing of, I was on the Red Sox. I can't play for the Yankees. I mean, maybe, that rivalry had juice back in, the 07, 05, 03
Right.
was at his apex, right, when they came back from the 3-0
Once
deficit.
Boston got the World Series,
But-
it was
right,
like,
and then,
it's
Johnny Damon, he was one of those idiots, self-proclaimed idiots, and he came over. Then maybe a little bit, but that's it's all to the highest dollar.
You're
man.
Ellsbury, though. You play in Boston for so long. I mean, you just leave behind all those memories now because all these
Yeah,
people
he
are
got
going to remember.
$153
All these
million
people are going to remember
pillow to
is
cry
him,
on, bro.
him being a friggin' Yankee.
I'm sure when he
Yeah,
goes back
right.
to Fenway, he'll get crap and stuff like that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think he'll get an ovation. He won 2 World Series. Well, so what? You move on. You replace. That's how sports work.
That's not how
You root
that's
for-
not how a fan's mind.
I
thinks,
disagree.
so.
You root for the laundry. You don't. That's what it comes down to.
No,
Yeah.
I would say we can probably compartmentalize this kind of
I think
stuff.
like Boston
but-
fans would be more upset if like Napoli didn't get signed back than Ellsbury. I don't think he was ever like a
Ah.
Boston guy, even though he
Right.
came up in the organization. He
he's-
was always
He,
that.
yes,
I
he
agree.
is a
No,
Boston guy.
Pedroia
He was
is
that-
the heart of that team. Ortiz, absolutely.
He was that clean cut, good looking young guy. Like he's not a Boston type. Like with the scruff, the anger, the mean looking. It's like.
And he was always on the outside with that clubhouse anyway. When he got hurt, they questioned his toughness about not coming back. So there was no love lost between Ellsbury and that organization.
All right.
You know what I think interesting? You want to say on this real quick with the Scott Boras angle? I think it's interesting playing in with Cano, right? So Cano dumps Boras to go with Jay-Z. Now Boras' agents, his big guys, traditionally have not signed till after the winter meetings. Like he holds them, waiting for the most money. But now
Yeah, that's
Boras
when he
signs with
kinda-
the Yankees. Boras has his client Ellsbury signed with the Yankees.
Just
Eating up
kind
a
of
big
F with
chunk.
Cano
Yeah,
and
and
just
now
get
Cano's
that extra money.
Cano's in a squeeze here.
Oh, yeah?
I think the Yankees put themselves in I disagree with other people. I think the Yankees put themselves in an excellent power play situation with Cano. Cano, where's Cano going to go? Right? The Yankees are firm. This is the money we've allocated. This is what we're going to offer you, and if take it or leave it.
Yeah, and
I think they're
Seattle
in a great,
Mariners.
Oh, yeah,
he
Seattle
signed.
sounds
He
to be
signed
the-
with Jay-Z in order to be like the guy. He's going
Right.
to go play in a dead zone in Seattle
Yeah.
in a terrible hitter's park. Doesn't make it. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't even like hot stove. I don't even like hot stoves. They burn. They burn, Michael.
So over the weekend, we had some tremendous football. We had, especially the Auburn-Alabama game. Touch on this real quick because in the next segment, we're going to do a little college football extravaganza for the people. But, you have this amazing play with a 28-28 game. The 60-yard field goal falls just shy. Guy from Auburn takes it all the way down. And we got plenty of great sound bites, pictures, videos, all that kind of crap from this stuff. But, more importantly, Alabama is not in a position to be in the national title game right now.
Yeah, it just sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they have a good kicker on that team, obviously they win this
That was-
game. They're
yeah.
number one. We got Alabama, Florida State. We have no debate.
I was
But
surprised Saban tried to. I mean, I guess he was just thinking, whatever. Worst comes worst, we missed a field goal, we go to overtime, and I guess you never expect that play to happen.
what a
But
bizarre play, too.
Alabama's got to be ready for that play to happen. It didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was even an inkling in their
They
mind.
threw a
that
couple
could
of the old
happen.
honky white linemen downfield expecting to catch them.
Well, the interesting part is that play almost never happened, right?
Yeah.
The Alabama guy runs out of bounds. They call a game. They go
1
back and review
second.
it. They put the second on the clock.
Just to get the field goal. unit in.
Saban decides to kick the field goal, not throw the Hail Mary. Obviously, hindsight, you should have threw the Hail Mary, right?
Well,
But-
hello, Michael.
come on.
Hello, Michael.
I mean, that's hard to say. That's just a bizarre play, like unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's one of those plays. Like the only play I can compare it to college-wise, I don't remember this. I was like 9 or 10 years old. Cordell Stewart was playing
Yeah,
Colorado
The Hail
against
Mary.
Michigan. The Hail Mary to Michael Westbrook. He falls on the end
Yeah.
zone. He
Well, how about
catches
that
it in
same
the end zone.
Auburn team this year versus Georgia?
Right,
Oh, yeah.
the week
You know, in
before.
that game,
Oh, yeah.
you
That
know,
was a
it's
crazy
like-
play.
Seems like they're just destined to. I don't know. They stepped on a big pile of shit.
But
somewhere.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting. We'll get more into it. But your boy Cowherd ran off the list of teams. Auburn could lose very easily this week to
definitely.
Missouri. And
Phil
all
Steele
goes
has
for
it.
naught.
Phil Steele has it.
Even though, I mean, everyone's saying FSU's. Well, we'll get into all those guys later, right? So.
All right. Big day in the NFL. We had the Sunday and then the big Monday night game. We'll start off with the Monday night game, most recent. But Seattle just absolutely blows
Crushing
the
it.
hole off of New Orleans
Crushing
in
it.
this game, 34-7. I mean, I like this game. I like Seattle going forward. I had them on the internet, the website. I think you had it too.
Nice,
Yeah.
yeah.
Things are going well. I got internet service.
All right.
But
all right.
but yeah, so I mean, New Orleans didn't even have a chance in this game.
No,
Zero.
the game was over. Midway through the second quarter, killed a couple of my fantasy. I was looking for buys in a couple fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
Got Breeze going,
didn't
or
happen. Jimmy Graham, the other guy, Russell Wilson. That
kills
The
you.
other guy.
But yeah, that game was over. And I'll tell you, my biggest takeaway. Well, two things. One, Russell Wilson's very good, man. Russell Wilson can play. And two, they're going to be awfully tough to beat.
At home.
At home.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're going to be awfully tough to beat with that. You know,
I mean, that crowd's great, and you get them on a night game or a primetime game. I mean, they always show up. I mean, so any playoff game, you know they're bringing it.
You know what the difference I think is in this Seattle team this year than last year. They have some speed on the edges, man, and they can come get the quarterback a lot better this year than I think they did last year. And you have
also
to play
last year
those,
they had to go to Atlanta, and I mean they were I mean they started off really
They
slow in
coulda
that
had
game,
that game.
and they could have
Right.
had that game
Right.
at the end, and then Atlanta comes back and I think they drive down to get the field goal,
yeah.
to go. I forget if it was to go up or to
Yeah,
win it.
they
or
won it
not,
at the
but-
horn there.
But with the speed on the edges, you have to in Seattle you have to use a silent count, right?
Yeah.
So the tackle is looking at his guard or looking at the ball.
By the time he turns
So he's-
around, that guy's
right,
already
he's,
ahead.
he's already a half step behind
step
the
up the
play,
field, yeah.
and the defensive end is getting a huge jump, and they're going to be awfully tough to beat. They can run the ball. I think if Percy Harvin ever gets back in the mix right now, it doesn't really look like
They say he's probably going to be out for the rest of
He's
the
an
regular
X factor.
season. Definitely having a
Seattle,
bye
Seattle,
about that.
obviously the team to beat. I'll be interested to see what Carolina does this week against the Saints.
That would be a good matchup.
Can
Well,
they-
and they played first game of the week in
Yeah,
Carolina,
that's
12-7.
right.
Everybody was like, "Oh, what's wrong with Seattle?"
Yeah, but
And then you started realizing Carolina's
right, they're
a legit team.
They're
But,
a
I mean,
legit team.
Carolina and San Fran too can do it, but San Fran's had terrible games up there in
Yeah.
Seattle.
They played week
but
2.
Those are the two teams that I think can go toe to toe with them on the defensive side.
Oh, what are you, San
Uh,
Fran?
No
San
love
Fran
from
fan.
the audience.
Oh, there he goes.
No love.
Well, I mean, they had big games. They've been blown out there.
Well, I think with
They
San
can prove it
Fran
this weekend, though.
San Fran, they got Crabtree back, Manningham's back playing. I think they couldn't. None of their receivers could beat anybody 1-on-1, and that was a huge difference.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You can go on. That's not the end of it.
No,
bro.
that doesn't preclude me.
Nah.
All right, screw you, Belton. No, but I think getting Crabtree back, he made a big play. He was kind of getting to the flow of the offense, made the one play, 60-yard catch. But I just think his ability on the outside to win a one-on-one matchup was something San Francisco hasn't had all year, and that's a huge benefit to their offense and Kaepernick. Crabtree being able to win that one-on-one battle. You zone up the rest of the side. It opens the field for Kaepernick on those improvised runs.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, I think the big swing in this game was when Breeze fumbled the ball to the defensive lineman. Then now you're down 10-0. Now you're passing the ball. I mean, even though Saints were able to go down and get a touchdown, it was kind of like it seemed like Seattle just could do whatever they want whenever they wanted to, and it was just like New Orleans on defense especially couldn't do anything about it, which was a little more surprising than I thought. But
which interestingly, Russell Wilson's had a lot of success against Rex Ryan defenses. He beat the Cowboys pretty handily last year. Now again, Saints this year. So I had in the preseason I picked the Saints going to the Super Bowl, but you can't like that pick now, knowing that Seattle's going to have home field advantage throughout, man.
I mean, if that game was in New Orleans, I think that game turns out totally different.
Completely.
But
completely.
but now the road goes to Seattle. So it's like
that's why that was a huge game.
Very
Huge
interested
game.
to see what happens this weekend between those two teams. But again, we'll get into that. That's part of the NFL Pick 'em Chug segment going on later. Jets this week, they go down like an absolute wounded bird in the sky.
Did you hear what
Flopping
Rex Ryan
down to
said
earth.
today?
I did not.
So they asked him about his rookies, right? And he goes, rookies. He goes, our draft class. He goes, I don't think I've ever seen a better draft class.
Oh yeah, hello.
This is an A+ draft class. He said.
Right.
We have five rookies that are starting. How could he do better than that? Mr.
I guess
Gambino,
that's
are
throwing
you
that
on drugs? Are you serious? Is that serious?
Well, on paper going into the year.
No, your first 3 picks, right? You got Richardson, Milner, and Smith. Richardson's legit,
good.
right? We'll leave that alone. Your other top 2 picks, Milner.
Oh,
He's
no.
not an
Terrible.
NFL player
Did you see
right now.
that attempted a tackle
Oh,
where
by
Wallace
Wallace?
walked in?
That was
Goodness
terrible.
gracious.
He's not
I
an
could've
NFL
tackled
player.
better than
Basically
that.
rolled out the red carpet for him to the end zone.
And
Horrible.
Geno Smith, actually a longtime Jet fan, I heard calling to a radio station today, and he goes, "I don't think I've ever seen and you know the Jets have had their share of terrible quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've seen
Ray
a Jet
Lucas.
quarterback ever. Actually, Ray Lucas wasn't bad, but Rick Meyer before that might have been worse.
Oh.
When Testaverde went down, Parcells replaced with Meyer, and then he went like 5 or 6 games.
The
Then
Neil
Lucas
O'Donnell
came in.
years. I mean,
Neil O'Donnell was remember that Neil
Neil
O'Donnell
O'Donnell
where he threw the
play,
screen
bro.
pass right to the other team.
Pennington.
Brownie Nagel, maybe. But
Brownie
Geno
Nagel,
Smith
that's
has
a good
been
one.
historically awful.
Brian.
Awful.
Oh, I mean, the
they
past
have,
3 games, it was just like, it's been.
They have no weapons on that team. No
Terrible,
offensive
terrible.
weapons.
And that was the thing. Then bringing Sims in, it just showed that it wasn't exactly the quarterback. You know,
Didn't you
it
take
doesn't
them
matter who
last
you
week
bring.
in the
I
pick
sure
section?
did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They made me look stupid, man.
Wow.
That team came
not
out
that that's
completely
awful.
flat.
But actually,
hey,
I agree with you. I mean,
hot
'cause
mic.
The one place that Gino's been good all year has been at home.
At sucking?
And I've been being terrible. But he's been good at home. And I was surprised that they came out that flat, especially against a Miami team that's not really anything special or anything to write home about. So
I was shocked because, you know, the Dolphins are just loading up the total yards on the Jets, drive in, drive out, and they just couldn't put any points up in that game.
they missed the one field goal. They kept on driving, though.
Yeah, but, you know, Jets got a turnover deep in their own territory. Fourth down stop right at the goal line. They couldn't get that.
Especially with that crappy offensive line the Dolphins got.
Yeah,
I figured the
exactly.
Jets
That's what
would've-
I thought was
would've
going to
ran-
dominate
run-
this
run
game
through them, but-
completely.
And that Jets secondary was brutal. And I think Tannehill lifted a lot of plays on the field there. He had some open receivers that he just missed.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tough place to throw the ball in. But Tannehill wasn't impressive in that game. And yet they still, you know, that game
Whooped.
won going away.
They
Yeah.
whooped. All right, so that's the Jets. We don't even their season's over, so we really don't even have to get into next week.
They're still in play.
Speaking of a team that season's over, the Giants got to win this
The
week.
Giants are also still in play.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, mathematically, but come on, nobody really believes.
But I'll
that
tell you
shit,
what.
really?
I'll tell you what, you got to give the Giants credit. I mean, you start 0-6. You know, you can very easily fold. I think the same could be said for your Bucks, right? You know, you could fold up and go away, but you know, at least they're coming out, they're competing.
Right.
You know, nice to see Justin Tuck. You know,
Yeah,
having a
finally
little
get
bit of
back into it.
resurgence.
Had a very good game.
You know, I think that's positive. You know, obviously,
Will Hill, prep zone,
Yeah.
Will
making
Hill.
the big play
Actually,
at the end.
Prep has a state championship game on Friday,
Friday night,
at Giant Stadium against Paramus Catholic, who beat them in the state semis last year. They have the kid Jabril Peppers, who committed to Michigan at quarterback, Paramus Catholic.
Nice.
So, yeah, that should be an interesting
In
one.
relation to Julius.
Sure.
I can't. Good thing I didn't drink that much. I'd be making all kinds of inappropriate jokes. But yeah, no. But the Giants, you know, you got to give them credit, man. At least they didn't fold and die. But Eli's still not very impressive, man. He
looks shaky this whole year.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know if he's just nervous about getting sacked or turning the ball over too much, but every time he's in the pocket for more than that 4 or 5 second window, you always see him jumping around like just waiting to get rid of that ball.
It's all the Dunkin' Donuts from those outtakes in the commercials.
And I mean, the Giants haven't been anything impressive or spectacular all year, but I mean, they're winning some games. I mean, they got a tough one on the road in San Diego this week. I mean, we'll see how that goes, but yeah, I mean, hopefully they finish off strong. Hopefully you can build on
you
some of this
guys
stuff
don't
for next
seem
year.
very confident in what you're saying.
What?
Well, I mean, how could you be? I mean, it's not like
No,
they're-
my whole thing with the Giants was, you know, it's nice to see that pass rush come alive a little bit, but it came down to the pass rush, and they got to throw the ball downfield, right? That was their formula, right? They rushed the passer and they made big plays in a passing game. That's what they did.
Where has Nick's been? I mean, what
Nick's he's
you
done,
know?
man. And especially you want to talk about
See ya.
you like I know you love the old contract year, Walsh, which
Oh,
I told
yeah.
you is an absolute fallacy.
Oh, because one guy
no.
fucked up this year?
It is.
No,
If you go back and look historically, it is.
No, you're wrong.
But either way, Nick's in a
But you would
contract
think,
year.
if anything, the player would have extra motivation in a year
Yeah.
where he's coming up as a free agent.
Right, but my point is I don't think the player plays any harder or less hard because he's due for a contract. And Nick's is living
I think
proof.
there's a little more that goes in. Nothing, you know, if you're playing for a contract, I think there's a little more.
It depends
that
on if
goes
you're
in.
playing for a contract and if you're traveling to places.
Right. Like,
That's
Depends
what
what
matters.
the schedule
like
looks
if you're going to be a free agent and you're playing in Baltimore, forget about it. Forget about it.
I don't know what that means.
I just made it up. It wasn't supposed to mean anything, but you're good.
You're a free agent.
You're
in
on your
Tampa.
A game. You're on your A game, bro. Way to
I'm
go.
calling all your bullshit out.
All right. So I'll close it off with the segment. We got the Nets and the Knicks tomorrow night.
Oh, the battle.
Very excited.
Battle for New York.
This reminds me of that Flint Tropic Mega Bowl.
I think they should make this a loser leaves town match.
Yeah. I
Whoever
think,
loses just.
does the
dump
coach
WF
get
style.
fired if they
Has to
lose?
give it up for the
Whatever
season.
team loses, think the coach gets fired? in
I
this
wouldn't
one?
mind that. Woodson or Chid versus.
Well,
We
how
should
about-
make a gentleman's bet.
Lawrence
Whoever
Frank
loses.
he got sent
Oh,
to the
yeah.
showers, man.
He already got
The
bumped.
most expensive video coordinator in the entire
He
league.
already got some sweet chin music already.
Lord.
God bless him though. I mean, he's like,
Yeah,
he's got to wash cars in a parking lot, and for $1 million a year, I'll take that job.
Hey,
God
I'll-
bless him.
I'll be sitting there right next to him.
What do you?
watching
Well,
video.
you're a big Nets fan. What's the Nets' problem? You think it's a health thing? You
A
think
lot
they're
of
just not that good?
injuries. A lot of your main guys aren't even on the court, you know. But again, even with the guys that can play, still getting blown out like 26 points last night, I believe it was.
Right.
Like the losses aren't close; they're embarrassing. These games are horrible. Like Garnett had a dunk last night. And they're like, that's his first dunk of the season. We're 18 games into the season.
Right,
You should
right.
be dunking the ball a lot
Yeah.
more, bruh.
Duncan, not Duncan. Garnett doesn't have the same upset he used to.
It doesn't
But,
matter. He basically stands there,
But, I
and
mean,
puts
you're
his
missing
arms up, and he
basically
dunks.
four main guys out of your rotation, right? That's half your basically
Right.
main rotation.
Yeah, I mean
that
that's
you're
a
playing. I mean,
huge
it's-
deal.
No,
So you're going to 12 guys deep in the bench that you never thought you would have had to touch, and now they're in there. I mean, I would say the Knicks are still a lot worse
Yeah,
off.
the only thing I can say about the Nets is at least they don't have 3 wins like the Knicks. I mean, 5 isn't really, right in your face either.
No, yeah. I mean, what do you say that hasn't been said already about the ball movement, the Melo holding it too much, the defense that they can't play, Shumpert getting into it with Melo
Yeah,
this week.
you see that,
I
and then
mean-
he's trying to tell him something that he fucked up with on defense,
Well, it wasn't
and then
even.
he's like,
It wasn't even Melo. It was Bargnani and Shumpert. That Bargnani was the one that messed up the defense rotation, but then I guess Shumpert was pissed about it, said something, Melo said something back, and then
yeah.
and Mike Woodson just stood there like a mannequin.
you know what it seemed like? What I took away from that? The inmates are running the asylum.
well.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess
It
in the
was a
NBA,
little
it's
scary
like that a little
when,
bit. But
when
You got a lot of different personalities there, too.
well, it's
very
basically
tough to juggle.
the top dog should set the
Who
arena.
is the top dog? Would it be
I mean, it should be-
Kenyon Martin?
Well, they said they missed Jason Kidd's veteran leadership this past week.
Yeah.
That Melo said that. I mean, Melo should be the guy setting it. I mean,
you know what though? I think Melo's proved. Melo just wants to score, right? That's what he does.
That's
but
what he
I'll
is.
tell you what, that's what he is. But he's been brutal down the stretch of games this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's missed what I can. I mean, I don't watch every Knicks game, but at least 3 game winners, right? If you're
Yeah,
gonna be,
what was
if
the
you're gonna
game,
be one of the premier offensive players, those shots you're not gonna make every game winning shot, but you gotta make a couple of them. As
They're
compared
playing-
to last year
What
to
was it?
start the season, he made like 4 or 5 in a row. To
Everybody was hitting shots for the Knicks. That's when Jay Kidd was having the
Yeah, I
time
mean,
of his life. From
They were
three-point
playing.
range.
I can't think of the team right now. The other night, and I think Randy Floyd was guarding Melo. Melo has about 5 inches on the guy.
Right.
Melo posts him up and takes a fadeaway
The
jumper.
fadeaway,
and,
yeah.
and
yeah.
Floyd catches him, maybe a little on the ball, a little on the elbow. But I'm like, you got to take that to the
Get
hole
the-
and
yeah,
take
to
it
the
strong
basket.
Gotta
and
man
get
that
fouled
boy.
or just do something better than that. But I mean, that's going to be an ugly game to watch, and I'll probably watch it.
But I'll tell you what. I mean, you coming into the season, this was the most hyped New York. You got
Oh,
your 2.
God.
You thought there were 2 at least playoff
top
teams,
5
right?
teams
at
probably
least
in
2
the-
playoff
yeah.
teams, and how the mighty have fallen very quickly.
You know, the Heat and the Pacers are the only 2 teams in the East that are above 500 right now.
That's
East
sad.
is
Man. Did you see Portland sent out the Trailblazers Twitter account today? They sent out a tweet and it was like, "Hey, is there any more room in the Eastern Conference? I'm just asking for a friend." Oh man,
Portland looks good,
Bitch
man.
them,
Lillard
real
really
good.
good play, man.
beat the Pacers 2 nights
Yeah.
ago.
And how about is Paul
Wasn't that
George
last
the
night?
second best player in the NBA right now?
I think he's still got to be third
Durant.
after
It's
Durant.
Durant, yeah. But
But
Paul George is
The discussion is
Another
there.
He's
month or
been
2 with
unbe-
Paul George doing what Paul George is doing right now. That's a discussion to have on the
he's
table.
been unbelievable, and I like just because I like the way I like watching out west Golden State.
There.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
they're
my God,
fun.
their comeback last
You know
night.
they got
too.
Curry and Clay Thomas stroke it.
The Splash Brothers?
The key is that what they are? Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
they're trying
That's
to.
good.
That's
The-
a nickname they're trying to.
Their
put on
whole
him.
key, they need Bogut. If Bogut stays healthy to protect the rim, because
Yeah.
Bogut's a
And
very
he-
good
and he
defensive
hasn't been
player.
healthy very
no,
often
he
in
hasn't.
his career.
And they gave him the extension,
Yeah, which was surprising.
I saw people say, make him play for
Big
his money.
extension. No homo.
But if he if
He
he,
is
if he
Australian.
if he can stay there and protect the rim, they're going to be in good shape in the West.
Golden
Yeah, the West
State-
is going to be. I mean, the West is going to be fun to watch. The East might just be.
Yeah.
Just terribleness.
I was going to say, Warriors down 25 last night against the Raptors. Very exciting game there. They actually ended up coming they were down maybe 20 in the fourth quarter. Ended up winning the game by 8 or 9 last night.
Yeah.
I think
crazy.
I think
comeback.
once the trade season opens up, I think a lot of these guys can't get moved to December for whatever contractual reasons or whatever. I think once that opens up, I think the NBA will be really interested for
New
trades
fiscal
this year.
year.
Yeah, I mean,
People trying to tank.
I don't
to
get into
to
the
Wiggins
NBA.
or Jabari Parker and stuff, but I think it'll be a lot of the moves will be fun to watch.
Yeah, Christmas time. Kobe's on his way back, and to talk about Garnett on his last legs. How about Tim Duncan
Ooh, dropping to 2020?
Are you kidding me?
Timmy and the game winner that night, I think.
Yes,
Game.
yes.
They ran an inbounds play. They ran a down screen for Tim Duncan to take the game winning shot from the elbow. Who runs a down screen for your 7 foot?
For
They
his
probably
second
thought he was
for
going
the
to bank it
game-winning
off the
shot, man.
backboard, man. That's all he does. That's all he
He's
It's
does.
a big
unbelievable.
fundamental.
All right, so we were just discussing. We're gonna have another big discussion on the whole college football issue that we got going on right now. Who should make it into the title game? Who should be left on the outside? It's gonna be very interesting.
We should do a MFK with the college football teams.
Okay, or maybe the mascots. Hey, now.
That's a little.
I'll take the USC Song Girls.
You
I'll
missed
take
the
the
last week,
UCLA
though.
cheerleaders.
We'll talk about it off there, but I think Walsh got problems with fundamentally girls that are not human, like
What?
any animated
It's just
characters
the interest.
or.
It's just the interest that intrigues. All right, we got
I
for
don't
today's
have any
Sports
idea
Up
what
50
that
Minutes
means.
Fan Radio. We'll be right back after this break.